Chapter 21 begins, ladies and gentlemen, and you know what that means? That means that the man, Sword Demon Berwick, is here. Let's talk about the banner mates real quick before we get to the main course. Lysistina, fantastic character, right? One of the best characters in the entire game, still being able to give your team tons of healing, tons of physical res down. Even in the Ascended era that we're in, people still use this character all the time. I still use this character every chance that I actually get, just because of how much she actually does for the team. If you are someone that's actually lacking in a healer type of character and you really need that, and you pick up Lysistina, that's your healer right there. You don't need any other healer for a very long time. Especially if you plan on going for characters like Star God Lisa, or you have the regular Lisa already, you can use her alongside Lysistina and make her equipment CT faster to make it to where she's actually able to heal quicker. She's great. Like, if you don't have Lysistina and you pick her up, you should be extremely happy. You have Noelle. Noelle's an interesting character because he's able to put vectors into the enemy. If he puts a lot of vectors into the enemy, pretty much he gets more and more buffs. But once he uses his true art, he will actually remove all the vectors out of the enemy and deal crazy amounts of damage. But you have to ramp back up to that damage potential. The way how we are nowadays with so many ascended characters and so many ways to deal damage, a lot of people may just consider the way how he does it a little bit annoying and a little bit of a nuisance. And it's just like, why go through all that effort whenever you could just use like Saber Alter, instantly pop super art, be brain dead, kill the boss. Vermilia is actually one of the only fire healers in the game still to this day, right? I'm pretty sure that's right. And she's definitely decent, especially in fire teams. That's where you're mainly going to be using this character, is in like the mono fire ruins and stuff. But outside of that, you're not really going to be using her. And a lot of the times too, in like fire ruins, you may just feel like you don't even need a Vermilia, and you could just use someone else that maybe increases stats, and then, you know, use that as like your healer to an extent. Yeah, I mean, she's overall just a decent character still to this day. Adele's a healer as well, and she's all about buffing up healing for her allies, but if you actually use her alongside fire characters, she increases the amount of healing that she's able to deal, especially with the art. But overall, her entire gimmick is just up the true art, get the buff to increase healing taken for everybody, use the art to heal everyone all the time, and then use the skill 2 to heal the lowest HP ally on the team, and just kind of keep everyone alive like that. She's a pure healer. She's not really going to be offering you any type of art shin or anything, but her slots are pretty solid, and she's not too terribly bad. Of course, her percentages are relatively low. If you need a healer and you get her, she's not terrible. She's okay. And then finally we have the man himself, Sword Demon Berwick. This has been a long time coming, man. He has one of the best artworks in the entire game, and this man is a all-out attacker, let me tell you. Since he is a Blood Knight, he does have Magia Drive and also Magia Drive Unlimited. The skill, he's able to reduce the enemy's fire res by 50%. With the art, able to increase fire allies' arts by 20, and then you increase all allies' stats by 30%. If you use this art during Magia Drive, this is what will activate your Magia Drive Unlimited for the remaining of Magia Drive. With your true art, you're able to enter into Magia Drive on your first initial use, and then whenever you use this true art again in Magia Drive Unlimited or Magia Drive, you will deal 70,000% fire damage physical, and you increase all allies physical damage by 200% for 30 seconds. And then with the super art, you get a massive multiplier to 180k. You also will ignore 100% of the enemy's defense while you are using your super art, and then for 40 seconds you increase your own damage by 50%. Granted, this isn't all the damage buffs he has, since he has 3 passives, one giving him more damage against earth enemies, the other buffing up his own attack when he's in Magia Drive, and the last one increasing his own arts damage by 50% when he's in Magia Drive Unlimited. So in total, if you have him in Magia Drive Unlimited, you use his true art, use the super art, you're going to have around 300% damage up right out the gate. It's going to be ignoring 100% of the enemy's defense at the same time, which is insanely good. One thing that you may notice about this man, Sword Demon Berwick, though, is that he has no kind of art shin in the kit at all, and that's actually where his true weapon comes in. His true weapon is able to reduce the enemy's fire res by 35%, and its passive is that when it's equipped by Sword Demon Berwick, you increase your own arc H by 5 per second and your max HP by 1,000. Why did they give him max HP and not just more damage? I have no clue, but hey, it is what it is. So as you see, you're getting a pretty strong attacker with Sword Demon Berwick. You're getting someone that's able to buff up physical damage, that's able to ignore defense, unfortunately only for himself though, and also get yourself technically like a pseudo healer for your fire units, since she's able to buff up your stats by 30% as well. Overall, Sword Demon Berwick is definitely not a bad character, even though a lot of people kind of have mixed feelings about this unit. He definitely takes a lot of art shin though. As you can tell, he's going to be needing to get into his Magia Drive, then you have to use his art to be able to activate Magia Drive Unlimited, and then after that you're going to be using the true art again, and then finally using the super art to get all of his buffs online. As long as you have 2 competent arch generators, you really should be able to get this character going, and you shouldn't really have too many issues when it comes to utilizing his entire kit. But is he worth the summon? Sword Demon Berwick by himself is kind of a toss-up when it comes to is it worth the summon or not. You have other characters already that probably already do a similar thing, of course, at not the same potency, like for example Sistina or Draken or whoever else. And I feel like that you're really going to be summoning on Sword Demon Berwick if you just like his design or him as a character more so than if he's meta or if he's not. Not to mention too, the banner overall isn't really anything too crazy, especially if you're older to the game. You probably have majority of these units that's on the banner. And then if you're newer, the only one that would give you insane amounts of value apart from Sword Demon Berwick would be Light Sistina, which means if you're newer to the game, I actually do recommend that you do at least a summon on this banner more so than anything. If you're older to the game and you're wondering if you should spend crystals on this banner, here's what I'll tell you. If you like Sword Demon Berwick, do a multi and then probably quit. If you don't really care too much about Sword Demon Berwick though, you can easily skip him and keep saving for whoever you might be saving for. Another thing to mention too is that if you are planning on going deep on his banner or spending a little bit of crystals on him, keep in mind that we have a lot of stuff happening very soon. As you know, we're going to be having Black Friday next week. As you know, we're going to be having Thanksgiving and Black Friday next week. Following that, we're going to be having Christmas, which will probably be Star God Lisa. And then we're going to be having New Year's as well. So there's going to be a lot of stuff packed in the next few updates for Grand Summoners. So summon at your own discretion. Don't go too crazy because you may regret not having crystals whenever these bigger banners come out. Either way though, fam, thank you all for coming out. It's been your boy P. If you enjoyed this video, however, check out either one of the videos popping on the screen right now. Great content, guarantee you love them. Tell me down below if you're going to be summoning for Sword Demon Berwick or if you're going to be skipping and saving. Me, myself, I'm going to be definitely doing probably a summon video tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. I really like his design and his artwork is sick, so I got to try to pick him up if I can. But either way though, fam, thank you all again for coming out. And last but not least, you guys already know, don't forget to drink water.